Speaking of monsters, narcissists, horrible people, I'm going to close with this because it was making my head hurt. And I'm going to call out Dave Reardon because you're the person that threw this in my wake. So let me share this horribleness with you, because if I have to suffer, folks, you have to suffer. And, you know, Disney has decided that they are going to ruin everything that I ever cared about. This is, are you ready? This is what's coming. Let me scroll up so you can see. There it is. Ready? Coming soon to Disney Plus, an unprecedented portrait of one America's... Nope, I messed up. Let's do it again. An unprecedented portrait of one of America's most vital public servants, Fauci, a documentary from Nat Geo, streaming October 6th on Disney Plus. So I'll be watching Fauci now. Thank you, Disney, for making my life miserable as I have to pay attention to this narcissist. Look at the ridiculousness. Alex talked about it at the end, about using children, these opportunists that use children. Look at this. Watch this.
About my dad.
My dad.
I certainly think about that seriousness, but very few people get to see. He's funny.
You've got to be kidding me. This is a guy that's single-handedly responsible for most of the misinformation and the confusion in our country about what has happened and what needs to be done to properly protect ourselves and other people. And he has been wrong. He has been tied to the Chinese lab problem, whether it's an actual leak, whether it was malicious or not, it doesn't really matter. He had lied about the need for masks. There's been so many things. He refuses to resign, the highest paid government official. And we are going to have Disney Plus using Nat Geo as a propaganda piece to show him dancing around with his little tiny adorable daughter. That's how their trailer starts.
Weird and really playful.
God help us.
Yeah, God help us is right. God help me sitting through this nonsense, this monstrosity that I'm going to have to do now because of this for you people. By the way, I haven't gotten through all of Karen. I'm only like 2/3 of the way through Karen. That's so awful. I'm still doing that. This is now Fauci too.
In 1981, HIV/AIDS was evolving rapidly.
The amount of misinformation on HIV and AIDS is just an embarrassment of the human health, America's health system. Especially for you guys that didn't live through this, it's so hard to put in perspective how much fear they put in people's minds about how this was or wasn't not transmitted. People thought at one point it could be transmitted very casually through like people were talking about your toilet seats. You're talking about like, using the bathroom, just any fluid, any bodily fluid. Like, well, then if people are sweating, can they? We didn't know. There was all this miscommunication about what could actually happen, right? And then I remember so vividly when Magic Johnson tested positive, I was devastated. I couldn't believe it because I actually just thought, well, he's going to die because the hysteria was insane. And then I thought, well, he can't really play, can he? And so they made this big deal about when he played with other players because it was safe. And obviously we know it was safe. But that's how long this bureaucrat has been all around. Can't stand these government employees that are so wrong and keep their jobs.
And frighteningly, there was anger at the government's response.
When you got sick, you were gone fast.
It's affecting you now.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. We had no treatments. We had no way of medicating. We had no idea what we're dealing with. There's so much misinformation about all this with handling. Look at him. I'm sorry. I can't take him serious.
Why?
Post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Yeah, because you're a monster and you're involved with watching all these people die.
When COVID hit, he became this target.
My dad said
A target? You wanted to be front and center. You could have deflected to the governors. You could have said each state can do what they want to do, but you were like, no, it has to be a top down. It has to be a federal thing. You had states shutting down borders and stuff because they didn't know what to do. And you were opposed to some of that stuff. You don't get to rewrite history like this. You don't get to say you didn't want to be in the spotlight. You're on magazines. You're on interviews constantly. You're laughing it up, chopping it up with all the Democrats and all these politicians with certain states and demonizing other states. And now you want to try to play like you were forced to the front? You are such a liar and a fraud.
Said we're going to get through this whole thing, and he's held that.
You don't do it because you want to make money. You don't do it for the glory.
But he makes the most money of all the federal employees. Step aside and be with your kid, you jerk.
You do it because you care.
When you're
Who was
involved,
that? Who was that? Who was that? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. All right. I don't know who that is. It'll come up in the documentary.
when you're involved in a race to stop a horrible disease,
That's his spouse?
you always feel you're not doing things quickly enough.
That's his spouse. I don't know who the other person was. That's a different woman. Isn't it? Yeah, well, whatever. Fauci. Streaming October 6th on Disney Plus. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I blame you, Dave Reardon. I blame you. I started off the day on a positive note. I started off the day trying to spread good into the world and trying to be positive. And this is the nonsense that ran through my head most of the day, right? There's no, what am I supposed to do? I can't play my potato cake song because Facebook and YouTube copyright striked the 10 seconds. I was told I could have a 10 seconds. Maybe I played it too many times, but can't do that. I can't play Alex's intro song because they copyright strike that. I can't share with you. I can't truly share with you the things that bring me joy. Maybe it's by design. Maybe it's by design to do this to me. They take away all the things I like and I like to do. Oh. Okay.
Hey, we're News Talk with Brandon and Bob. We're here to tell you about some of the facts so you don't have to waste your time watching CNN.
We don't want you wasting any time with CNN.
Or Fox or MSNBC or some of these other guys that are making a whole lot of money.
Et cetera, et cetera.
It's not paying.